Welcome back. It's Monday, meaning, it's about time for us to have our SME segment. But we're doing something a little bit different today. We're not just having someone who, of course, runs a business, but he's also considered a business analyst and a destiny decoder, as he likes to call himself these days. It's friend of the house, Mr. Tobi Alli in the building.
Great to be here. Great to be. Always a
pleasure.
Welcome.
Welcome to our new set. You've been a frequent flyer at the old set.
True. This is amazing, though. By the way, this is a major upgrade.
I'm pleased to hear that. Very pleased to hear that.
Yes.
Speaking of major upgrades, there are a lot of people who probably have a little apprehension regarding starting a new business, or maybe even upgrading what they had before.
True.
For different reasons. Now, from your point of view, what is the 2025 version of starting a business?
Okay, so I think it's important that there are a couple of things that people need to realize. There are fundamental principles that apply, but the way those principles are applied is what changes. So one fundamental thing that is still relevant in this 2025 is this. I think I said this during COVID, that ideas are good, businesses are better, but the market is the best. Meaning that if you want to start any business that will thrive in 2025, don't come up with an idea.
Okay.
Don't try and copy businesses. Find out what the market is saying. Where is the money going? Where is the demand? I mean, there are areas right now that the demand is huge. For instance, in 2025, especially now that the Muslims are going into fast, there is going to be a very large demand for food.
Okay.
So what that means now is that there will be demand for food in areas that have to do with people who want food delivered into their houses, people who want to do sharing. In fact, I think that's like the new trend right now. Meat sharing, goat sharing.
Even bag of rice sharing.
Exactly. So if you can build a business around that where people can get food relatively cheap, I think you are going to hit a gold mine. Also, in fact, just to hit on that, I think that sometime last year I mentioned something also about food, how a lot of people are spending a lot of money on food. So we, for instance, at JAO, we are going to be launching soon a food loan for people to be able to get food, and pay,
instrumentally.
Not instrumentally, but pay the next month, so that with little interest. So food is an area where people should look out for. There are also areas right now that has to do with remote. A lot of people are used to this remote setting thing.
Remote work?
Remote work, yes. So, but I think a smarter way to deal with that is if someone has the infrastructure to build like mini studios where people can remotely work and can also create content at the same time. That's also an area that I believe a lot of people can make.
So if, for instance, I have a small space, maybe an extra room, in my compound or in my house, I could convert it to like a studio space and rent it out?
In fact, I'm feeling your mental your mental makeup.
So 2025 is different when it comes to starting businesses. You just mentioned earlier, before you mentioned food and of course, setting up a studio
Find
space.
where the demand is.
Where's the demand now?
So areas of food, areas of technology. There's also a lot of demand in areas of payment. Nigerians are embracing digital payments more. So even in the tech space where we are, there's still a lot of opportunity for people in that space. Even in the area where JAO is, even in lending, there's still a lot of demand because right now purchasing power of some people is reducing. It means businesses are going to be looking for funds. So those are good places to look for money. Then also, if you follow the budget, you can find where money is. There's a lot of money.
Nigerian budget.
Yes, there's a lot of money now that is being pushed into infrastructure, roads, and stuff like that. So if you have if you see or if you have any skill set or you have any experience in those areas, those are good areas where you can also, start a business very quickly right now. Yes.
I think there's also still a lot of space in the logistics area.
Exactly.
People moving around.
Exactly. Especially for food.
Moving food around.
Especially for food. Perishable, food products. Even delivering into people's homes and offices, there's a lot of demand there right now.
All right.
That's free game I'm giving out, by the way.
And these tips are very key. But, people are still wondering, how to What's the first
How
step?
did they start?
How did they start?
Yeah,
this
so
business?
once you found that out, you know, the next thing people say, I don't have capital, I don't have capital. Some of these businesses, you don't necessarily need capital. You just need to check, you need to mine your resources. So like you mentioned earlier, if you have a spare room.
Yeah.
So imagine you have a spare room already is a resource.
Sure.
Now, maybe you have a friend who is, you know, into interior decor. Instead of you going to buy, you
All
know,
these
furniture,
things.
why not say, see, this is my guy, you know what, let's do a collaboration. Give me some of your furniture. I want to use it for XYZ thing. In that, I will put your name, you know, I will advertise and say, oh, this furniture is by so person. Think about somebody else also. Maybe the person has studio lights and equipment. Let the person set it up and tell the person you are going to be renting it. And as the people come, I mean, see, one of the things, exactly. You see, one of the things, and I want to say this very quickly to young people, that a lot of time that they spend on social media, if they spend that alone thinking, they probably will be able to come up with a lot more solutions than there is. So, of course, and some people already have money. Maybe it's your salary. Maybe there's one uncle you can render a service to. So just look around. You'll be amazed at the resources that you have. So once you found the demand, the next thing you want to do is you want to check the resources that you have and test.
Okay.
So test that your hypothesis, test that demand. You don't need to go all big. You know, it's just like entering into an ocean or entering into a swimming pool with the two legs. You want to start with one leg first, you know. So once you do that, I mean, enter the market, get your hands dirty, you know, pivot, and just never look back.
Okay, so now we've talked about some things you should do.
Yes.
But what are the things you should not do? This is 2025, things that are just no longer working when it comes to starting a business.
So some of the things you should not do in 2025 is don't think small. Don't think your locality. Don't even think Lagos. Don't even think Nigeria. There are people right now, even in the agri sector, that are actually even exporting their goods. One of the things you should not do in 2025 is limit yourself. Don't think locality. Don't think local. Think international. Because you'll be surprised that the demand for what you have might even be out of your city. I remember a time when there was a particular thing I was doing online, part of this My Destiny Code thing, and I realized that there was a state that I've never been to. That was where a lot of people were demanding and, you know, following me. So you'll be surprised. So don't think small. That's something you should not do in 2025, and don't think local.
You know, the funny thing, I've heard this saying before, Lagos is not Nigeria. A lot of people focus a lot of their business on what they can find in and around Lagos. But there are some really great business owners who have focused in other states. I find there might be some demands or challenges regarding that. But once they're able to surmount them, they are able to find different markets in other places because people are there.
Very true, very true.
So final thoughts for smart new business owners starting a business in 2025?
Yeah, so my final thoughts are these. Nigeria is, and the world is not going to get better. You are going to get better. So, I mean, go out there, look for where there is demand, plug yourself into it, learn the lessons you want to learn, especially if you're an experimental learner. Do what you need to do. The market will teach you. At the end of the day, if you're smart enough, keep at it. Things will hit you. You might make some losses, pick yourself back up. It's only a matter of time. The world will start hearing about you, and you will be able to make good money for yourself.
All right, Tobi Alli in the building, our business analyst for this morning. I hope we will see you again next week, hopefully, and we'll have some other nuggets for people to consume and hopefully plug into their businesses. All right, then, guys, I believe our chef has completed that delicacy she's been putting together. Mary, are you ready for us?
Yes, we are.
All right.
Let's go. Let's take a stroll.
Mexicano.
All right, let's go. Hope you're hungry.
So 2025. So maybe because I talked about food, that means I get to